In this video, I'm going to tell you the real reasons why Jews rejected Jesus as the Messiah. And these reasons will shock you. Greetings, everyone. I make videos that help you to understand the Bible and how it applies to your life today. But before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you never miss an upload. Now, in this video, I want to answer the question, why did Jews reject Jesus as the Messiah? Now, when most people think about the Jewish rejection of Jesus, they typically think of one group, the Pharisees. And while the Pharisees played a big role in Jesus' rejection, they were not the only ones who rejected him, and there were other reasons for this rejection. So in this video, I want to share with you 4 reasons why the Jews rejected Jesus as the Messiah. And again, the last one is going to absolutely shock you. Let's go. Number 1. The Jews were looking for a political Messiah. When we read through the Old Testament, we see Israel crying out for a deliverer from their oppressors. They cried out for a Messiah who would rescue them from the Assyrians, the Babylonians, the Persians, the Greeks, and the Romans. This Messiah would be a great warrior who would sit on David's throne and rule over Israel from Jerusalem. In fact, in the first book of Maccabees, we see the Jewish people crying out for a Messiah like this. It says here, "Remember, O Lord, the words of David that he spoke concerning the salvation, which you have granted to him against the hordes of the Ammonite and the violence of the invader who came against him. And save us now also, O Lord, from the power of the Greeks, for it has pleased you to bring our horn into salvation." So the Jews were looking for a warrior Messiah and not a suffering servant Messiah, and unfortunately, Jesus didn't fit the profile that they had in mind. Now, number 2, the Jews did not believe that Jesus was the promised Messiah because he did not perform signs and wonders. In Isaiah 7:14 we read, "Therefore the Lord himself will give you a sign. Behold, a virgin will conceive and bear a son, and will call his name Emmanuel." In Matthew 1:23 we read, "Behold, the virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and they shall call his name Emmanuel," which is translated God with us. Now, many people use this passage to prove that Mary was a virgin when she conceived Jesus. But what I want you to notice is the second part of that verse. It says that Jesus will be called Emmanuel, which means God with us. And this is exactly what we see throughout the Gospels. Jesus shows us that he is God with us. He heals the sick, he raises the dead, he casts out demons, and he even forgives sins. But the Jews missed this truth and they didn't recognize Jesus as being God with us, and therefore they rejected him as the Messiah. Now, number 3, the Jews did not believe Jesus was the Messiah because he did not come with power and glory. In Daniel 7:13 we read, "I saw in the night visions, and behold, with the clouds of heaven there came one like the Son of Man. And he came up to the Ancient of Days and was presented before him." Now, many people teach that this passage is talking about the second coming of Christ, when Jesus will return to earth with power and glory. But this passage doesn't say anything about a first coming. And if we read this passage in context, we will see that it is describing the first coming of Jesus. You see, in Daniel chapter 7, Daniel is given a vision of 4 world empires that will rise after the Babylonian Empire. The last empire that rises is described as a little horn, and it represents the kingdom of Greece. And then this little horn is destroyed by an even greater kingdom, and this kingdom is described as one like the Son of Man who comes with the clouds of heaven. And then this one, like the Son of Man, is given everlasting dominion and glory and kingship. So the Jews were expecting the Messiah to come with power and glory, but instead he came as a baby in a manger. And this is why they rejected him. But there is one more reason why the Jews rejected Jesus as the Messiah. And this reason is the most important of all the others. Number 4. The Jews rejected Jesus as the Messiah because they didn't believe that he was from God. Now, let me explain what I mean by this. You see, in order for Jesus to be the Messiah, he had to be from God. And in order for him to be from God, he had to do everything that God said he would do. And Jesus claimed that he was the Messiah, the Son of God. But the Jews didn't believe that he was the Son of God, and therefore they rejected him as the Messiah. In John 8:59, Jesus claimed to be one with God when he said, "He who sent me is with me, the same yesterday, today, and forever." And the Jews responded by picking up stones to kill him because he made himself God. And this is really what was behind all of the other reasons why the Jews rejected Jesus. They did not believe that he was from God. They didn't believe that he was the promised Messiah because they didn't believe that he was the Son of God. So in the end, the Jews rejected Jesus because they didn't believe that he was from God. And this is a tragic reality because God's plan was to bless the nation of Israel through the Messiah. But since they rejected the Messiah, God shifted his attention to the Gentiles. And this is why Paul says in Romans 11:25, "I do not want you to become conceited or a proud heart to fall away from the living God. For he has poured on you, the Gentiles, the unmerited favor of the first fruits of the Spirit." So the Jews rejected Jesus as the Messiah, and this led to them rejecting God's plan for their own good. But this leaves us with a very important question. Should we follow God's plan or should we follow our own desires? Well, Joshua 24:15 says, "And if it is disagreeable in your sight to serve the Lord, choose for yourselves this day whom you will serve. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord." So we must choose to either follow God's plan or reject it. But I encourage you, don't reject God's plan. Instead, choose to serve the Lord. But what about you? What are your thoughts on this subject? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button and share it with a friend. Also subscribe for more videos that help you understand the Bible. Until next time, Shalom.